Hey, all you podcast listeners, you can find Slice of the Paranormal everywhere podcasts are found, or you can watch us on our YouTube channel.
Hello and welcome to the podcast. All right, I'm Ryan. This is my co-host Christy, and this is our historian Steven.
Hello, everyone.
And we are Slice of the Paranormal, where we talk about paranormal fun stuff, old history, mysteries,
ghosts,
Scooby-Doo type stuff, witches, warlocks.
Today, pig people and maybe some other cursed bloody engines.
And some pig people.
And I bet you pig people would eat pizza, too. So
oh, of course. Pigs they'll eat anything.
So, along those lines, we also do review a pizza shop.
Yep.
So we'll do that at the end.
People around Meadville will know. As soon as you say pig people around my old stomping grounds, Meadville, Pennsylvania, will know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, for our guests that don't know, like the podcast team, like we bounce ideas off each other, and we're like, "What are we gonna talk about?
Yeah.
Which episodes should we do?" And like we're throwing out ideas, topics, locations on each other. And Ryan suggested the Pig People of Meadville.
Yeah. That's right, Pig Hill.
Like a lot of our viewers and anyone I've talked to, I'm thinking, what the hell's a pig person?
Pig people, Piggy Hill.
Yeah, like Pig Hill. Yeah,
That's
like,
a thing.
For the Meadville people.
My whole life.
You guys all know about this. And I had no clue.
Well, I'm glad to share this with you, Stephen.
Yeah.
This is a cool one.
So what did you hear growing up?
What are the
legend?
stories?
You want me to tell the story?
Yeah, I'd like you to tell us what made you pick this topic.
So we didn't know. I mean, obviously, it's a cryptid. It's something you don't know about. But there are many stories about my friends going up there, my brother. But I remember my dad taking us up there one time and explaining it to us. It's like a radio tower at the top of this hill in Meadville. I'm not sure what the street name is, but I do know that it goes up a steep hill, right? You have to go up a steep hill and get to this radio tower. And the story was always that if you go up there and stay too long, the pig people will come get you. That's always what we heard. I mean, I don't know what that means. And it didn't sound entirely too scary to me.
Did you know
More
like
intriguing.
the origin of the pig people, or just pig people? You didn't know how they
I just
came
thought
to be.
it was a real thing that happened up on top of that hill.
And there's pig people.
So you just don't hang out up there too long.
And your dad's the first one that tells you this legend?
I think it was my dad, but everybody talked. I mean, all your friends would talk about it. My brother would talk about it. He would go up there to, do teenager things.
So this isn't a legend born out of like the 1980s or 90s only. If your father knows about it, it predates
It's got to be
that.
older.
It's got to be older. So I did some quick research. And what I found out was that, on Radio Tower Road in Meadville, there's a quiet, dark hill overlooking Meadville. So it makes it the perfect location for what? A lover's lane.
Yeah.
See? That's what I'm saying.
So it's pretty much a lover's lane area. So guys take the girls up there. They tell them a scary story type deal.
Telling the pig people story.
Well, normally, the guy taking a girl up to a lover's lane, what story would they tell them?
A scary one,
hook
so
story,
that they...
right? The hook story.
The hook man, exactly. The hook man's like typically, the girl's in the car, the guy has to get out of the car for something,
Right.
he hears something, and then he never comes back, and the girl starts hearing scraping on the roof of the car.
Yeah.
And in the morning, when she is either rescued or
Gets the courage to get out of the car.
Gets the courage to get out of the
However,
car.
whatever story you hear.
She finds the guy hanging above the car.
Yeah.
And the scraping was either the shoes.
Something.
Yeah.
Now, Meadville, they take it to the next level.
Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with you people from Meadville.
Lots.
Okay. And,
Proud of it.
But their version of the Hookman story is that it's the pig people.
Yeah.
So when the girl gets out of the car, not only is the guy hanging above the car, but supposedly he's hung upside down. The scraping on the roof of the car is the fingernails of the guy.
Because he's being bled out, right?
He's being bled out and he's eviscerated.
Hey now.
So, like, you guys
Now, if I'd have been told that story growing up, I might have been a little bit more
it's
scared.
surprising that they didn't attach that to it.
No, I never heard none of
You
that.
know what I
Just
mean?
that there was pig people.
Maybe your dad just, like, softened it up, you know?
Thank God.
Like,
Good job, Dad. Or whoever told me the story.
Maybe he didn't want to completely traumatize you like a normal
Well
parent
done.
would. So...
I would have
Let's
never
toast to
gone
your
up
dad,
there.
who we
Toast to
actually
my dad.
who we got
We
to
don't even
meet.
know if he told me the story, but we'll toast to him anyway.
So
That one's for you, Pops.
So the other story is, the legend of the Pig People. There's two main legends that I've heard or have read about that the origin story. First version is that the Pig People are actually lepers. That there was a leprosarium, which is pretty much where they quarantine lepers.
Right.
And it was up there, and that the kids that would see these people would refer to them as pig people because they had pig faces.
Okay,
Sure.
kind of makes sense.
So-
could resemble piggish.
But if you're in a leper colony, you are quarantined. You are not going into town, so maybe they'd be allowed to wander the grounds.
Well, you gotta see through a window.
You know, like, that seems odd. So I did some research, and I looked it up. Like, were there leper colonies in Crawford County?
Nice. Look at you going, debunker.
Nothing.
The great debunker.
No leprosy colonies there.
No lepers colony in Crawford County
Okay.
did I find. That doesn't mean that lepers were not treated
Doesn't mean some of us had
and
a few around.
quarantined in a minor fashion. So I wouldn't rule it completely out.
Sure, and like record keeping, you know. Who's
Yeah,
to
record
say?
keeping sucks. Who knows?
Fair enough.
But and I looked it up in a grander scheme. Like, what did Pennsylvania do with lepers? You know, like
Yeah.
we had lepers.
Yeah.
You know, so there was a lepers colony in Essington, PA, and it was called Lazaretto, and it's south of Philadelphia. It's
tried to fancy it
actually
up.
built in 1793 due to the yellow fever epidemic that
Oh my
was
God. They're just gonna use it again.
hitting Philadelphia. They're just reusing it.
Yeah.
Because they already have this buildings
Yeah.
Why
set
not?
up. So they use this lepers colony. It's called Lazaretto, and it's a quarantine station, and it's derived. The name Lazaretto is derived from Saint Lazarus,
Who
is
rose from the dead.
the patron saint of lepers.
Oh, from the lepers.
So-
Of the lepers?
Yeah,
Wait, that's like Lazarus Pit, right? You
well, if you read
what's
the
that?
Bible,
Isn't he the one that
Lazarus
was-
was the leper in the Bible. Ryan,
Yeah.
do you not read your Bible?
a couple times.
A couple times. He's like, I use a Bible all
But
the
no,
time.
so do you want to know what I really was thinking? Superman. Like when I think of the word like Lazarus Pit, I'm pretty sure Superman talks about Lazarus Pit. No,
I don't know, but that reminds me of something that I learned last night that I have to tell you right now or I'm going to forget.
do it.
Go.
Do you know that Jensen Ackles almost got the role for Smallville?
No, I didn't.
And he was in
He
Smallville.
was in it. Yeah, he was in an episode.
He and what's his name? The lead character. I can't remember his name right
Tom
now.
Wellington or
That's it.
something like that.
They were both up for the lead role. Could you imagine how different Smallville would have been with Dean Winchester as Superman?
Dude, he's
And
in a
then-
new show.
Yeah, I know.
So Superchar or something. It's coming out in a couple months.
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw it.
Yeah.
Looks good.
I'm a big Jensen Ackles fan.
We like the supernatural guys.
I know you guys are. And I saw the guys, and I just didn't talk to them.
There was no pig. Ooh, there was an episode with the guy who wore a pig mask, though, right?
Ooh, maybe in a later season.
Yeah, I'll get back to that.
Yeah.
Because I have something later.
All right, so the lepers idea to me is a little loose.
Yeah.
There's
Not quite fitting.
not quite the same.
Yeah.
But there wouldn't be a lepers building because a lot of times after they used a lepers colony, whenever they closed it down, you didn't want to reuse it. So
Burn that.
You burn that. crap
Burn that down.
You burn
Yeah.
it down. You don't have any evidence. So
No question.
Even if there was one in Crawford County, there's a good chance it wouldn't stay standing.
Ah, makes sense.
So it would have been demolished. So the second theory, which is the one I think is cooler because it's creepier, is that the origin of these is that an inbred family
Oh, yeah.
was living out on the outskirts of town, and through
Oh, yeah.
multiple generations of inbreeding, they became pig people.
Inbreeding or
Or
mixing.
Like you're talking bestiality?
I'm not going to mix
type?
in a little pig in there.
oh, they might be mixing pigs in it. Yeah, I mean,
Put a little pig in that.
just a weird fornication from weirdos.
Oh, that's gross.
You know,
yeah.
it's all gross.
Fair enough.
Fortification.
But like, if all your sisters look like pig people, that would explain why they start abducting local Meadville women to try to propagate with, 'cause
Okay.
they want to.
Did that happen? Or is that just like
That's
legend?
not a theory.
That's just like
Just
a theory. Now,
Okay.
so it's claimed that there's any missing woman that happens in Meadville. They just claim it's the pig people.
Yeah.
Think people got her.
So if you have a girlfriend you want to
And
get
they
rid of,
probably did.
Yeah.
and you live in Meadville, there's a good chance you can offer and be like, well, the pig people got her. It's pretty sad.
I'm
pretty,
sorry, officer.
No
They look
need
like
to
pigs.
investigate.
Yeah.
It was pigs.
Don't
Yeah.
need to look around.
It was just
You
the
can go home.
pigs. So I started researching your guys' like Meadville Tribune, I think it's called.
Yeah, the newspaper.
The local newspaper. So I did find an article by Keith Gashard, and it was from November 8th, 2022. And he actually wrote about a book that was coming out written by a Meadville native
Yep.
called Pig.
That's Nancy Williams.
Very fancy name, very ingenious name. I don't know where she got it, But Nancy Williams writes a fictionalized account about the pig people in Meadville. You guys know I'm very much a history nerd, so like for me, this is impossible for me to read because I don't read fiction.
Right.
So, Ryan, I'm going to bequeath this to you.
Oh, don't queef on me.
You say you don't read fiction or you choose not to read fiction. You know what I mean? Like you could read fiction.
I actively avoid
Thank you,
it.
Stephen.
My best male friend that I have is a guy named Josh Pace, and he wrote a book called I think a Scrying Glass, and I'm the illustration artist.
Scrying glass?
I'm the illustration artist for the cover of this book. I never read the book, and I did the cover.
That's pretty sweet.
But he picks with me all the time that I never read this.
Yeah, I'd be a little upset if I were him.
The worst part is I'm actually a character in the book.
You gotta read this book, Stephen.
I know I do.
All you do is read.
And that's
So
the
do you have
worst.
some like opposition to reading this?
I just have opposition to reading things that aren't true because I don't read for enjoyment. I read for knowledge. So it kind of goes against my
like hurts you.
yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. All right.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to enjoy anything you read.
Why would I want to enjoy something
Yeah.
in life?
Why would you want to enjoy that?
Yeah, exactly. So this Nancy Williams, like you, is a Meadville native.
Yep.
So she writes this book. It's about, she wrote it in, I think, 2019. And it's about a girl named Carrie, who's an author. And she starts noticing that girls are going missing. And she had grown up like you, hearing about the pig people. And she thought it was just, malarkey, whatever. And when the girls start going missing, she's like, revisits the pig people legends. So that's the core crux.
Okay.
Is her journey in researching the pig people for her own book.
Cool.
So she writes this book, and like the Hookman's Legends, the story I told you about the boy being eviscerated, it comes right out of that book.
Okay. Okay.
So it's a much bloodier account.
A little more graphic.
A little bit more graphic. So I don't know if her telling of it is like the local folklore.
Yeah.
Or if it's her trying to bloody it up. For the book.
What's the guy, the Sleepy Hollow guy? What's his name?
Ichabod Crane?
No, oh, never mind. I'm never gonna get there right now.
We're never gonna get there.
My brain, it's a goldfish.
You have a
I
brain
can't remember
like a
anything for like
goldfish.
more than
Yeah.
4 seconds.
Major Andres?
Who's the guy? I'll get to it this way. Who's the guy that embellishes stories and like made some of our? Oh, like
Brum.
No, same time.
Henry
period.
Shoemaker?
Oh, the folklorist guy
yeah.
that Stephen always talks to. The fakelorist.
That's Shoemaker.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe him. Yeah.
Yeah, Henry Shoemaker.
So he
he's
kind
a
of
fake book.
fantasize, or not fantasize. What's the
But
word?
makes it
Yeah.
they add more elements to it to make
Right.
it better. Kind of like Dan Brown when he writes the Da Vinci Code.
Yes. that kind. That kind of
And
stuff.
like I had problems with that movie. I mean, it's a great movie and book, but for me, it's either history or it's fiction. I don't like it when you mix the two.
See, I love that when you mix the two. I love historical
lot of people do.
dramas like Vikings, that show Vikings and stuff, which
Yeah.
is riddled with actual historical facts, but also it's like just people too and stories that, we don't know that could actually have ever happened or not.
Could be based on something real. Could
right.
be made up.
Right. So I just really like that kind of
A
genre.
lot of people do because like the Da Vinci Code did really well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
With that kind of like whole shtick.
Yeah.
So, so there's this book that comes out. So
Yep.
the book actually led to a movie. So I didn't realize that Meadville created so many crazy people.
Oh, nice. Taking swings today.
Like there's a lot of weirdness coming out of it.
Yeah.
Because another Meadville native is a guy named R.A. Mihailoff. Do you know who he is? This guy is freaking Leatherface
Boom.
in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
R.A. Mihailoff.
Mihailoff.
And he came from Meadville.
He came from Meadville.
Oh, he's from
Nice.
Meadville.
He is from
Wow.
Meadville.
He's
and
scary,
he's
dude.
from Texas Chainsaw Massacre III, is what he plays.
Look at this guy.
Leatherface.
Yeah, he's a brute.
I like
He
him.
is
He's
a
probably a
brute.
teddy bear.
Now he's in a lot of movies. If you type him up on Wikipedia,
"Don't call me a teddy
he's
bear."
in there's like 20 movies he's in. He plays lots of characters. My other favorite movie is that he's in is Krampus 2. He's in.
He's a Krampus guy.
He plays a guy named Stuart, which is like I think like a gang guy.
Well, he looks just
He's just a big toughie.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
looks massive, so.
So this guy, being a Meadville native, wanted to do a movie in Meadville to kind of like, get
Yeah.
back to his roots. And the screenwriter, Jared Burris, along with director Kevin Lewis, kind of touched base with, found out about this book. So producer Ted Watts Jr.
There it is.
And Mihailoff met with Nancy Williams, of the author of Pig, and they decided we got to make a movie on this. So they were They, I think, have already completed filming the movie. I think they're calling it Pig Hill.
Nice.
Pig Hill.
Pig Hill.
I like that.
So,
Or Piggy Hill.
Yeah.
Pig Hill sounds a little bit more like horror movie, huh?
it does. And
Yeah.
I think we honestly should try to meet R.A. Mihailoff
Yeah,
at
why
some
not?
point, because he is a member of a paranormal group as well.
Oh, nice.
And his group is called Hollywood Ghost Hunters. And guess who his cohorts are? Kane Jason Hodder, who played Jason Voorhees.
Nice.
Ooh.
And unfortunately, this one's passed on. Sid Haig. From A House of a Thousand
That's
Corpses.
cool.
was a
So they
member of
like
that.
did some paranormal
So
stuff together.
they would do paranormal stuff together, like these.
That's super cool. You don't even think
harmony-
about those guys doing that kind of stuff, but that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
And I think this guy Mihailoff, he's a former wrestler, so
He's huge.
he looks
He
massive.
must have done something.
And I'd love to hang out with someone that makes me look smaller. So
Cup of Code! Today's episode is brought to you by Cup O Code. Need a website or marketing solution that works as hard as you do? At Cup of Code, they don't just build websites, they create digital solutions that grow your business. From expert web design to targeted marketing, including Facebook, Instagram, Google Ads, and billboards, they've got you covered. Dream, design, develop. Visit cupofcode.com and take your business to the next level. Oh,
But,
Steven.
so that's what I got on the Pig People. So I started looking into like, well, how common are pig people?
Yeah.
I never really thought about them much. I mean, what was it?
Like the folklore of pig people?
Yeah,
How common
like-
is it? Yeah.
The American Horror Story. I think it was the Roanoke series that they had the pig lady on.
I didn't see that.
Pig lady.
Yeah, there
season.
was a pig person on there. But in Pennsylvania, so I started looking into my files, and we were just in Lancaster.
Yeah.
So literally, 2 days ago, we were in Lancaster. So there's a town called Churchtown, And it's called Churchtown because in a 2-mile radius, there were like 7 freaking churches.
Of course. Yeah.
But in the 1890s, 2 friends supposedly threw rocks at a ghost pig by the Edwards Schoolhouse. And one of the guys went to kick the ghost pig, and it disappears.
Well, so did they know it was a ghost pig when they were throwing rocks at it?
Not at first.
They thought it was just a pig.
They thought it was just a
Let's
pig.
just throw some rocks at this pig.
And then
The rocks went right
yeah,
through
these
it.
are obviously not the nicest guys that they're just randomly trying to throw rocks at a pig, and then they go to kick it, and holy crap!
Where was the pig at? Like just randomly
It was
they
just
happened
along the
upon
road. It was
a pig
just
in the
along
road.
the road.
What year was this again? Just
1890.
1890. Okay.
So
these guys are walking. They see a pig. Let's throw some rocks at it and
Let's
kick
throw
it.
some rocks at it.
Okay.
I mean,
Makes sense.
Typical guy mentality. I see something defenseless. Let me poke a stick at it. It's just what guys.
I'm just trying to paint a picture of like this, the scene.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
understand.
Yeah. So like on the road, is it?
So, like, have you guys heard of any other pig stories?
So I looked up some stuff. There's, you've seen, I think it is American Horror Story or whatever, or maybe it was a Supernatural episode where you've seen this. It's a guy who wears a pig mask and he has a butcher thing on and he carries a butcher knife. You've heard about this?
No.
What was
You've
that?
seen it in movies and TV shows. I feel like it's a common thing. There might even be like a Halloween costume based on it because
I believe it.
But it's like a pig face.
I know exactly what you're
You wear
talking
like
about.
a butcher's thing and carry a butcher's knife. But it's apparently that started in Northfield, Vermont. That's where that legend came from or whatever. I don't know. But
Specifically with the butcher.
with the butcher knife.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of stuff like that though. Like all throughout the
Yeah, I
country.
feel like I just watched a
the
series.
Pigman. You got to turn that off. The Pigman
it
of
is off.
Angola, New York. Haunting the Woods, same thing. And it could be like same thing. It could be like just a local ghost story that they kind of glom onto and make it a little bit scarier by calling it the pig guy or whatever. But there's a bunch. I mean, when I looked it up, there was a bunch all over the United States, and not just all over the United States, but kind of all over the world like that.
Do you think it's the connection to like slaughterhouses? Like pigs are the defenseless creatures, and they're being slaughtered a lot.
Imagery.
So, like, is it like maybe an archetype that the slaughtered becomes the slaughterer? Like if you're
like revenge for the pigs.
like revenge for the animals. Like. That
that
you
could be
never know.
part
Could be
of it.
something like that.
I think a big part of it is, we have all met people in our daily lives that have slightly turned up noses and kind of resemble. So it's easy.
Could embellish that
like
story.
humans and pigs do have similar characteristics too. Like even our flesh is similar to theirs, and the the pig's intelligence level is that of like a 3-year-old child.
Supposed to be pretty smart, yeah.
Yeah. So like there's that correlation, like just that naturally people could have characteristics that are a little bit piggish. But I think also it was a way to explain deformities and to kind of blame people for like having relations with pigs, when maybe they, it's just the kid was just deformed. But, back then and
before
story
people
or
know
whatever.
about like science and like, genetics and all that.
Yeah, or even if they wanted to demonize someone or, like, you know what I mean, they could just be like, you're having relations with that pig over there, and now you got to get out.
Well, I mean that
pig looks a lot like you.
That
you know,
still
Pig and
happens.
elephant DNA,
That still
just
happens in
don't
other
mix.
countries too. Like we're kind of removed from it in the U.S., but like when you get to other countries where less developed countries, and you have a child that's born with a deformity, that person, that family can be ostracized.
oh sure, yeah, that's exactly what I was
from
finding.
that. Like that, maybe they
make up
did something
stories, yeah.
religiously bad.
Ooh.
Maybe they're cursed.
Or to get,
there's a lot to it.
Yeah,
I know. Back to the slaughter connection.
Yeah.
I think it's called Adamstown, PA. They had a slaughterhouse, and there was a brewery nearby. So the brewery would brew all this stuff, and they'd take all the leftover beer.
Yeah.
And they would throw it over the fence to the neighbor who had pigs.
Yeah.
And it became a very great, advantageous, connection because the pig farmers getting all this free feed, the pigs are eating so much, like they both excelled and benefited from it. But the problem is that there were so many pigs slaughtered in Adamstown that there were pig ghosts that were supposedly seen.
There's so many. There's like pig ghosts running around.
Yeah, there's like pig ghosts
Wow.
supposedly running around.
Oh, I love
in
when we talk
Adamstown.
about animal ghosts.
Yeah, like you don't hear about pig ghosts, like
Not too often.
I would imagine those would fall into the residual haunting type thing. You know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine an animal spirit would want to stay on the earth and, you know what I mean? I feel like animal spirits and
Well,
human
just like
spirits
anything
are a
else,
little
if
bit
your
different.
energy gets stuck for some reason, right?
Right,
I mean,
but
if
why
it's
would an animal's energy get
like
stuck?
they have feelings.
I don't know,
If
man.
it's traumatic, like they're the.
But then, could you
traumatic-
imagine how many fucking cow ghosts would be all over the
You
place?
would think they'd be really popular
they'd
in this
be-
country.
You would think.
Yeah.
With all the McDonald's and Burger Kings around,
Right.
You know,
Do you guys remember that phone number you used to be able to call? 1-800-DEAD-COW?
no.
And McDonald's would come and pick up your dead cow.
No.
Yeah, I called it back in the 90s. It was...
That's a real thing?
Yeah, it was 1-800-DEAD-COW. And it was for, like,
We're gonna have to look that up.
Ronald
Ryan.
McDonald
McDonald shows up in a little truck.
the
That would
Hamburglar.
be great.
Yeah, short burglar.
And all the fry guys.
And all the fry guys. Robble.
Well, I was just looking up, like, outside of our state, a city that we have not gone to is Salem, the witch city.
It's true.
Yeah,
Not yet.
I really want to get there again.
The cinema center there, called I think it's called Cinema Salem, is actually on top of the site of one of the taverns up there. And the one girl would come into the tavern and yell at her husband that he has to go home, blah, blah, blah. And one of his drinking buddies claimed that she came to him in the form of a witch, in the form of a pig, I mean, with her head, and attacked her at the tavern.
Oh my gosh.
Wait,
So
start over again, please. The lady had a pig. Wait,
no, the lady in a ghost form
okay.
attacked him as a pig with her face.
Okay. So, pig with a human face.
A pig with a human face.
Okay, that's what I was trying to get at.
So it's a pig with a human face. So, but if
It
you
sounds
go
a
there,
little odd.
Yeah.
But if you go there, like Theater 3 is supposedly really haunted. They see this a guy sitting there in the crowd. They see different men like in the projections booth window. It's got a lot of haunted lore on this natural, like fairly new, I think 1970s, 1980s theater.
Yeah.
But it's on top of the 1692 tavern.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So,
That's pretty cool.
yeah, I mean, I love the fact that you guys have this ghost lore. But to the last
pig
story,
lore.
a pig lore. The last pig lore I have is called The Pig Lady of Kennelton. And this is in Darlington Township in Beaver County, Pennsylvania. A woman named Barbara Davidson married a guy named Nathan Davidson. And he's a soldier in the American Revolutionary War.
Okay.
He dies. So Barbara has to move back in with her family and back to the family farm. The parents decide that they're going to go to Pittsburgh to get some supplies one day.
Okay.
So she has to stay home and do all the farm chores, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. They come back a few days later, and Barbara's nowhere to be seen. They can't find her. 4 days after they got back, and they still had not found her.
She's gone pig.
They started smelling something.
She's went
They
pig.
started smelling something.
Yes.
Aw.
So they tracked the scent down, and under the floorboards near the front of the house, they found her headless body buried
Eh.
under the porch.
Damn.
So, she obviously was killed and placed in the crawl space, minus her head. And her head was never found.
It's
so,
in Shamokin somewhere, I've heard.
it could be. Shamokin has everything.
Yeah.
They're like known for taking people's heads and just hanging them out and
Putting them in the window.
going to bars with it. And I would not be surprised if her head turned up in
In the cold
Pottsville,
region somewhere.
In the cold
yeah.
region somewhere.
So what? They never found the head.
Never find the head.
So what's a pig store then?
Okay, so after she's dead, a man's driving his wagon down a dirt road, and he sees Barbara's headless ghost.
So just her body.
Just her body.
Headless ghosts.
Now, the next people that see it. A group of boys are playing near a bridge when the ghost of a woman with a pig's head starts chasing them.
Oh.
Pig's head.
Wow. So in one story, we have a pig with a human head attacking people. And now this story, we've got
a human
body with a pig head.
With a pig head.
Nice. I like it.
So we're going the complete other direction
Right.
with this. So you would think this has got to be like all only 1800s kind of lore.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But in the 1950s, the woman with a woman's body and a pig's head is seen walking in the cemetery where she's buried.
Wow. As recently as the 1950s. That's not, I mean, you know,
That's pretty
pretty recent.
And the last sighting I could find is a man was camping, and he said a headless woman appeared to him and said, "Tell them Ray Noel."
Ray Noel.
And we think that maybe the killer might have been Ray Noel.
Oh, tell somebody Ray Noel.
Yeah.
Tell someone Ray Noel. So maybe Ray Noel killed the pig lady accountant. But she's now, no one refers to her as Barbara Davidson.
She's now the pig lady.
She is now the pig lady.
That's kind of sad for her.
It is, because she's murdered. No one
Yeah.
solves her murder.
And we don't know it has anything to do with pigs at all. We're just assuming.
Correct.
Because there's a lady with a pig head that it's her.
I mean, you think about it though. More people are talking about it if you call her the pig lady.
Yeah, but they know
Her
her
name
real
was, what was her name?
Barbara Davidson.
Barbara Davidson. We're saying your name, but that doesn't sound very exciting. Pig lady sounds exciting.
Yeah, maybe she should be the pig lady, Barbara Davidson, or whatever.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Christy's fighting for you, Barbara.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
She
Well,
wants you to
I'm
get some
glad.
Give you
credit.
your props. I feel bad for her.
I do too, because I think it's sad when any murder goes unsolved.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
For sure.
Because she did nothing that we know of.
Right.
And then there's the person that committed the crime gets to live out their life.
Right.
Guilt free.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of sad. And her parents never would have had that resolved.
Yeah.
You know, like as a
Family.
parent, she's relatively young, in her 20s or whatever.
Gotta stink. Yeah.
So
Oh, no pun intended. Stink from the front porch.
I know. Well, maybe that's why she's the pig lady, because she stank. I don't know.
Ah.
I
You almost did it there. You almost did it.
almost whacker.
Yeah. I love when Ryan reacts to things and he sounds like Fozzie Bear.
Sometimes I sound like Fozzie
Yeah,
Bear.
I told him over the weekend he sounded like Fozzie Bear, and
There were
you
like-
just did it almost.
I
There
own
were
it.
like 3 Fozzie moments at least that I could remember, that I can recall from our weekend.
I do it.
It's a good one. He does a good one.
So
So what? No. What? Pig people?
that's it on Pig People, but we're in Meadville.
Wait,
Yeah.
before we exit Pig People altogether,
Oh,
you guys
okay.
remember that Seinfeld episode with the pig person, right? The pig man?
No.
You don't remember that?
Was it the same thing? Did he have a butcher knife?
No, he didn't. It was so it was
Why don't
season 5, episode 5 of Seinfeld, titled The Briss.
The bris?
Yes, so they were going to a bris in a hospital,
Okay.
and a bris is basically a circumcision, right,
For
for
little
Jewish
baby.
people, for
Oh, okay,
Jewish
okay.
babies. Kramer was there, and he was like eating food off a tray, and he looked over and he saw a pig man in one of the rooms, and he's Kramer style, just
Oh, he had like a mask. He pulled it down? No, I'm thinking of Twilight Zone.
You never see the pig man. You just see Kramer's reaction to the pig man.
Oh.
He's like, oh, and then the pig man like squeals at him and stuff.
Really?
Yes. Then Kramer runs into the other room. I just watched it today, like a recap. Runs into the room. He's like, oh, there's a pig man there. They don't believe him. He's like, oh, they've been experimenting on pig people since the 50s. It's a government thing.
Oh,
Like,
my gosh.
He's completely convinced.
That's
Later
awesome.
in the episode, he
Why
brings
do I remember this?
he brings
one?
Jerry and George back to the hospital, convinced that there is the pig man there, and he wants to show them the pig man. And they go there and to the same room, and the pig man's gone.
Right,
And
right,
He's
of
suddenly
course.
gone, and the doctor
They've
doesn't
moved
know.
him.
Yeah, but it's this whole like a major theme of this episode.
I gotta watch it.
Season 5, episode 5.
That also brings up the point that, like with the Meadville, there's no like genetic mutation origin story that I've ever heard either.
No, I don't
Like,
think so.
I think it's just too old.
Yeah,
It's before all this. Nowadays,
Right.
Yeah. You
if
could
that
have
was
some
generated,
fabrication.
you would
that's
think
true.
You
Yeah.
would think it's medical experiments. They're
Yep.
Made in a laboratory.
gene manipulation.
Yeah.
Laboratory and science is the opposite way of the story.
I was gonna say like that like nowadays we have like the Montauk Project.
Yeah. Oh,
you know,
I like that.
which
But
is-
she did remind me of, there is a Twilight Zone episode about people that have pig noses. Did you ever
Really?
see this one?
No.
I think it's about, I could be wrong, so I'm just gonna keep, I think it's about a girl who wants like a facelift or something, and they want to make her more beautiful, but they give her a pig nose. But everybody has a pig nose, and that's the way they think that's beautiful.
It's not like the hot dog fingers and
Hot dog fingers. Oh, that's a great movie.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, we were in Meadville, so Steven says,
well, we got to check out the train station because the train station in Meadville has a connection to a bloody locomotive.
yeah, there's no train station. It used to be a train station.
Well, yeah. But now it's just this building. And
I believe, like, I swear people got feed for, and I get baby chickens there when I was little.
yeah, it's like a store now, or now it's a museum, right?
I look like a museum now, I think.
But it was a
could be
feed
wrong.
store for you.
There's a picture of Christy. If you check out our YouTube, you can see a picture of Christy in front of it. It was just like a big building. I feel like they sold like farm type stuff.
Okay.
there. Feed and seed.
Well, being that it was a train station, they were obviously, set up to have a lot of horse and buggies. So they probably, it's a pretty
Yeah,
big
be well
parking lot.
equipped to have.
But the engine number 32 it actually stopped at this station. And the engine number 32 is actually called the Bloody 32.
Bloody 32.
Because it kept wrecking.
The train kept wrecking.
The theory is it's cursed. It's a cursed engine, and it was cursed from the day it was made.
Cursed train engine. Do they say why it was cursed? Did someone
Yeah,
like
how did
die
that
in the
happen?
making of it?
We're putting them on the spot here,
I
right?
know.
Putting you on the
Sorry,
spot.
Steve.
We were-
I like when we get you flustered. It's funny.
But yeah,
He's like flipping through his book. It might be in here.
well, normally I write down everything I'm going to talk about.
Yeah.
And like 2 minutes before this episode, Ryan's like, "All right, can we add this and this?" I'm
I
like,
need you to talk about a bunch more stuff.
Yeah.
"I want you to talk about a lot of stuff." I'm like, "Yeah, we can do it."
Look at
Whatever.
all. He's
Yeah.
very accommodating.
So, in the Fulton County News on May 9th, 1906, according to newspapers, there's a, let me see, it had killed at least a dozen men.
Talking about this haunted
train?
engine.
The
Cursed,
train
cursed
has killed at
train
least
engine.
12 men.
Like by running them over
Ooh,
or
that'd be cool.
falling
Various
into the...
reasons. From 1895 to 1902, the engine is connected to a handful of deaths and is responsible for many injuries. Now, it was so feared, they renamed this damn train engine to the number 42 so that people would stop being afraid to get on it.
So they tried to like rebrand it.
Yeah.
They tried to rebrand it.
Like, no, this is the 42.
This
It's like
is-
an
yeah.
X through
This
the
is not
three.
Jeffrey Dahmer. This is Jeffrey Palmer. He's a little
Totally
different.
different. You're safe.
He's totally chill.
No worries. Do
now.
not check his refrigerator. You're good.
Yeah. So there's like a whole bunch of list of like times that on July 26, 1895 at 11:30 a.m., engine number 32 claimed the life of engineer Frederick Beaver at the curve opposite of Mercer County Fairgrounds, a mile north of Greenville in Mercer County.
Just didn't say how. He just said it claimed his life.
It actually,
You know how trains be doing.
the engine slid along
Stab.
the tracks
Stab.
over an embankment.
Stilts.
Oh, wait. Shut up. What?
It slid along the tracks,
Yeah.
went over an embankment. It came to rest 80 feet from the tracks, and the engine buried itself into
The whole
the
damn
ground.
train engine?
So the train basically is not staying on the tracks very well.
It goes off the
A lot of
tracks to
times.
kill people.
Yeah.
Don't be
Wow.
standing near this.
Now,
Like that maximum. What's that movie? Stevie.
Maximum Overdrive? Yeah.
Like that, but with the train.
yeah, this is like maximum overdrive, but it's a train.
Yeah.
It seems like it
AC/DC
should
would
be
do
less
this
scary.
music.
Right, because they can't go too many. You know
would
what
think.
I mean? There's
Yeah,
no
but this
steering
one
a
jumps
train.
off track.
If it's jumping off tracks,
Yeah.
just being off the tracks
Crazy.
ain't enough to save you.
Yeah.
It's like a goldfish that like jumps out of the
To the bowl.
bowl. Yeah.
Now, same year, August 30th, 1895, only a month after claiming the life of engineer Beaver, it jumps the tracks in Elk Creek near Girard in Erie County.
Yeah.
And while it was crossing the bridge at, I think, Elk Creek, there was a sharp curve, and once again, it jumps the tracks. And it crashes into a bank. And due to the speed, it jumped the bank and came to a halt.
Here it comes.
Blah, blah, blah. Where does it says? It says the brakeman's last name was Gardyman. And some say his name's Cordman. But he's one of the people that passes away.
How many died in that one?
Just the one.
Just one.
On January 4th, 1896, the Bloody 32 smashed into the rear of a train in Butler. Not to be outdone by hitting another train, 2 days later, it jumped the tracks at Wallace Junction in Erie County. No deaths. April 9th, 1896, it went off the rails at Elk Creek in Erie County. September 1st, 1896, Engine 32 was in the shops to be rebuilt.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's what I was going to get to next.
What?
Well,
keep going.
Yeah, keep going, and then I'll try and remember.
Okay. Another.
It was in the shop to be what? And what happened?
They keep rebuilding this thing. Like when it goes off the tracks, it gets damaged.
Did somebody die in the shop?
Not yet.
That's what I want to hear.
Oh, so that was going to be my question. So it is like after these accidents, it's being looked at, right, and like repaired. So, and is it always the same thing that's malfunctioning, or is it a bunch of different things?
It's a bunch of different things. It's either speed that are causing it, the weather conditions.
Okay.
But it keeps jumping the tracks. So they finally get tired of this. They're like, people are literally afraid of Engine 32.
Yeah.
So they're like, let's change its name. Let's call it Engine 42. So they changed the name to Engine 42. On August 23rd, 1900, the number 42 claimed its third and fourth victims. The train consisting of the engine and 3 coaches.
Wait, did you just do this? Am I having deja vu?
What?
Nope, keep going then.
The engine and 3 coaches left Meadville at 7:30 p.m. and arrived at Raiders Curve, which is east of Conneaut Lake Station. These are places you might know. I knew we were at Conneaut Lake.
We went to Conneaut Lake.
And around 8 p.m. When it arrived at the curve, it jumped its tracks again. Engineer Fred Gilson was killed instantly. Fireman Joseph W. Snedden was hit with the escaping steam and badly burned. He would be rushed to the Meadville Hospital, but he would not recover from his wounds. So he would succumb to it. Mostly,
infection.
Infection usually gets you with the fires.
Yeah.
November 20th, 1900, the engine had only been out of the shops a couple of days, and it returned to its old ways. It jumps the tracks near Greenville, sideswiped a freight train. No one was really hurt, but the conductor almost was killed.
So how many people have...
It's about 12 people are killed.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
One train.
I mean, at this point, let's just stop using this train.
Yeah.
Right? Like, stop using the engine.
I would
Let's
think so.
Use it for parts or
So
whatnot.
I like that we saw this train station, and I had this awesome picture of us all happy in front of this train station. Steve told us about the Bloody 32, but I really didn't piece together what the heck it was. Yeah. I had no idea it was this death train.
Yeah, this death train is known.
This picture's awesome. We're all smiling. And, no, death train.
You can blame me. I'm the heartless one that doesn't tell you that we're going to see the train station that the death train left and ultimately killed people on its journeys, like Christine. Like a Stephen King novelist of the 1800s.
Now that's one I never knew about in Meadville, so I appreciate that knowledge.
Okay,
I had no idea of that. That's really cool.
Yeah, so that's just one of the places that is there. We were going to go to the Baldwin Reynolds house because it's one of the nicest houses. It's the Historical Society.
It's like a massive mansion.
It looks haunted as hell.
Yeah.
It looks old and haunted.
So I reached out to them to say, hey, do you have anything there that is haunted lore?
It has to have something, but...
And they never wrote back to me. And when we got there, the place was closed.
Yeah.
So Baldwin Reynolds house, you will have to reach out to me if you want us to do an episode on your site and let me know if there is any haunted lore or are any of the objects in your museum connected to stories that might intrigue us.
Yeah.
Because
Or are there any pig people in there?
Right, you got
yeah,
Pig
like
People. We'll come back.
they're the historical society, so if they know of like they might know more about the origins of the pig people. You know, maybe they knew that
there's
there was
lots
a
of
leper
history.
colony.
Right.
They would take us there for like school trips when I was little. They would take you there and show you all the old stuff.
Oh wow.
I remember learning about ice boxes and that kind of stuff.
It just looked really amazing, and I told you I was like, I was
gorgeous.
trying to get in there. Like, you know, I reach out to these sites. I want to get the best experience we can
Yeah.
for not just us, but also the sites we work with. I want them to be able to show themselves in the light that they want to be shown in.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, because obviously when we complete these episodes, we provide links to all the sites.
Yeah.
And we want them to be just as happy as we are with everything that we do. So the other site in town is a place called the Academy Theater.
If you're from Meadville or around there, you know the Academy of Theater is. Oh, look, I'm in that picture.
Yeah, starting out in 1886, the Academy of Music, designed by J.M. Wood and built by a guy with the last name Hempstead, which is great. That's a great name. This grand old hall has been seen and done it all. It's like opera, live shows, vaudeville acts, and
Musicals, yep, everything.
the fact that it's still there means it bridged the gap where a lot of like the old vaudeville theaters died out when the movies started coming in. Like, not all of them could make that transition.
It's true.
And that one did.
I guarantee it struggled throughout some time, but it's always been a mainstay in my knowledge of Meadville.
Now, from what I read, like in the 1980s, it kind of fell into disrepair. So I don't know.
Oh,
like,
probably.
at your age, like
I was into
getting
musicals in the probably late 80s, or probably early 90s, actually, when I think about it. Probably early 90s, but somewhere in there. A couple of them.
But the site, did you know of any haunted lore with that site?
You know, it's interesting. I think at that time we talked about ghosts. I think we talked about ghosts in the back of the theater. I don't know if that's a real thing, but in the backs of the seats, and I feel like there's like a down below area that seemed a little haunted. So
like, I always joke that I think all theaters are haunted.
Yeah, they seem to be.
And every theater geek I've ever worked with, and I was a theater geek, I built stages and stuff like that.
I was a theater geek in high school.
Like, every theater's haunted. So when I hear, oh, it's a haunted theater or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this one supposedly has phantom footsteps, unexplained noises, shadowy figures are seen there.
Yeah.
They're spotted in the wings in the balcony area. Some say the ghost is a former performer or a theater worker that still lingers at the site. So, I mean, it's still going strong. I mean, they've obviously fixed it up since the 80s.
Shows going on continually.
It seats, 470 people, so it's a pretty intimate theater experience there.
Yeah.
But we didn't get a chance to go in to the theater, but obviously I got a picture of you, Ryan, standing out.
I think it's snowing in that picture, actually. It looks
actually
snowy.
It was a snowy weekend.
This was the day after the snow.
I really like this picture, actually. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, because you're not even looking at the camera. You're
I'm all
just,
like, I'm cool.
I'm cool. I'm at the
I'm not gonna
theater.
look at you guys.
So we have some other sites, but those are for other episodes, because while we were in Meadville, we did check out Conneaut Lake and the Blue Streak, which is its own thing. And we also checked out the Knickerbocker. So
yeah, that was really cool too.
that was
Fun trip.
amazing.
Yep.
So that's going to be its another
Little
episode
foreshadowing for things to come.
to look forward to.
Right.
So while we were in Meadville,
We, as always, check out some pizza, right?
that's right.
Shout out to Cup of Code again, by the way.
Yep. Thanks, Cup of Code.
Yeah, our
So-
website's looking really good, by
It
the
is.
way.
It is.
I'm loving it.
Yeah. Speaking of, if you want T-shirts or anything like that, you can hit up our website, sliceoftheparanormal.com, and there's a little button that says shop. Just follow that stuff.
That's really cool.
There's a bunch of them up there. So yeah, if you want
that's
one.
really, really neat.
Anyway, we do pizza reviews. So
do.
while we're in Meadville, I was like, we can hit up some randos, but I need to hit up one that has a place in my heart. I didn't say it was the best right? I just said
No.
it was just from my childhood. I have lots of memories at this place, so I made them go to Pizza Villa in Meadville, Pennsylvania. Now, there's some restaurants that we could have gone, or some pizza joints that have come in and out over the past however many years that I wish we could have gone to, but they don't exist
Right,
anymore. So
right.
whatever.
But this one existed when you were growing up there.
Correct. In fact, I think it's called Pizza from Mars, but they don't exist anymore either. So, but there's a bunch. Anyway, this one, Pizza Villa, very close to my heart. A couple dates I went on there. A couple after I had some drinking nights, we went there the next day, kind of deal. So it was always a good spot. So I said, place has been here since I was a kid. Very specific pizza flavor. We went there at 10:30 a.m. on a Sunday. Okay, this was our first place of the day. In fact, Steven, what did that guy say outside?
Someone, a group of kids drove by and they're like, "It's too early for pizza." Like, what's wrong with you people?
And we're like, we know.
Yeah, because that was like day 2. We've already
It was
eaten
day
like
2.
four pizzas
It's a lot of pizza.
the day before.
Yeah.
Steven, 3.75 out of 5. Solid pizza, great taste, great flavor. That's a good score.
Yeah.
Could have used a little char on it. I would have totally haunt this place. If there was anything I would improve, it would be maybe a little butter to the crust. Other than that, phenomenal.
Yeah, I thought it was a good pizza.
Good score. Christy, 3.5 out of 5. 3.5 out of 5. I liked the crispy crust. It was almost like a deep dish style pizza, which I tend to enjoy. With
Yes.
cheese. That's interesting because I tend not to like deep dish.
I know.
Me, it's a 4.0, and part of that might just be my
Nostalgia.
Love for, yeah. Something about that flavor, I said.
Yep.
Loved this pizza and remember it tasting very similar to what I remember from my childhood. Great crust flavor and texture. Sauce is so good and makes you crave that next slice. Could have been cooked 1 minute more maybe, but will be incredible reheated tomorrow. And my brother said, wait, was it my brother? Yes. He said, because I was craving this pizza afterwards, he didn't even eat it. You said. He said it sat around for a couple days. I get to my brother, and then he just threw it out, which hurts my heart. Anyway, I have a side note on here. I actually ate a cold slice of this the next day. That night. I was taking it to him, and it was delicious. It was so good.
You know, I didn't mention the grease factor either, so it must not have been very greasy.
No grease
it wasn't.
mentioned.
So it's probably like a zero napkin type.
Zero napkins.
Zero napkins.
That's pretty good. Overall, great score. Overall, probably it was 3.75 overall. So yeah, great score.
Yeah, that is
Pizza
a good
Villa,
score.
Meadville, Pennsylvania. It's up by the I don't know. There's a bunch of I don't even know what the name of the street is now.
Oh, I have no
Right,
clue.
right in the heart of Meadville. You'll find it.
Hold on.
You'll find it.
Wasn't it really close to the theater?
Remember I told you people used to like drive up around that circle and kind of down through Meadville. It's up near that area.
I was going to say, because I
Downtown,
know that
Chestnut Street,
the
near
theater's on
Chestnut
Chestnut
Street.
Street.
Near there.
So it's close.
Yeah, one of them streets. It's
The
been
theater's
way
on
too
Chestnut
long.
Street?
Yeah.
Same as in Sunbury. Chestnut Street Opera House.
Ah,
Street
look at
Opera
that.
House. Yeah, true.
But I think that's it for today.
That is it.
Meadville, Pennsylvania was a fun time. We'd go back maybe on a warmer day next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was really fun, but I think we'd all enjoy it just slightly warmer, maybe less snow. But I did like driving around the graveyard in the snow. That was kind of
nice.
surreal.
That was cool.
Oh, yeah. That
That
was
was
the day
neat.
before in here, yeah.
Yeah, but it was fun. It was a fun trip.
Yeah.
I think they're all fun.
Yeah.
I agree.
We
Cheers
have a
to
good
that.
time together.
Cheers to that.
Woohoo.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us today, and join us next time you crave a slice of the paranormal.
Yeah.
This podcast was produced by Stone State Entertainment.